Good morning, Phil Thatch once again in the backyard blind. I have a signature package, got a new iPhone coming today, so I don't want to be not here because it's a package you got to sign for, and that's one of the luxuries of having the opportunity to work on bird photography from your house. Is if you've got something that makes it where you can't leave your house, you can still go out and do some photography. So that's pretty cool. And today I am using my Nikon Z8 and the 180 to 600 out here on the blind. I've got the K&F concept gimbal as well. And so far the only bird that I've gotten a photograph of has been a song sparrow. Not a lot of light yet, it's pretty early. I'm going to stay out here for a couple of hours, and I started a little bit before 8 o'clock this morning. So let's look at the song sparrow and see what else I can find this morning right out here in the back porch blind. There it is, the first bird of the day, a song sparrow. Not the most beautiful example of a song sparrow, but I was happy with the photograph. This is 420 millimeters, wide open at f6, 1/250th of a second, and the ISO came out to 2200 on this one. It's been about a half an hour since the song sparrow visited, and not much going on. I've heard a lot of birds in the distance, and then all of a sudden things started going pretty good. The first bird that showed up was a tufted titmouse. What the world needs is more tufted titmouse photos, and I am happy to help. Look at that beautiful titmouse on one of my perches. This is 420 millimeters, wide open at f6, 1/320th of a second, and ISO 640. Here's another example in that same burst, same exact settings. I think I probably like this first one better than this second one. And then a male downy woodpecker showed up, and he bounced around several of my perches, and I was able to get lots of shots of him. I definitely got carried away with these downy woodpecker photographs. This is a male, and you can tell from the little bit of red there on the back of its head. This is 420 millimeters f6, 1/320th and ISO 900. Here's another one in that series. This one is 800 ISO. And here's another one, same settings as the previous one. Here's one more. This one, I've opened it up to 360 millimeters, 1/320th f6 and 900 ISO. Here's another one at 360 millimeters, same settings, 1/320th f6 and 900 ISO. I just love these downy woodpecker photos. Another 360 millimeter shot of the downy woodpecker. I love when you can see the stripes of the tail feathers in some of these and the beautiful eye. And you can see in a lot of these photographs, you can see the sun starting to rise in the background. It was partially overcast, kind of foggy almost this morning, and that helped these pictures, I think. And here is the last downy woodpecker in that series, all on the same perch. This is one of my favorite perches there on the porch. And this one is also 360 millimeters, 1/320th, f6, and 900 ISO. And then a male house finch also showed up for a little bit. This is a house finch, a male house finch, 400 millimeters f6, 1/320th, and 640 ISO. You can see the sun rising in its eye. I love that. The chipmunk's been hanging around quite a bit this morning, and the other most frequent visitor has been the tufted titmouse, which I'm very happy about that. Look at that adorable tufted titmouse, also on one of my perches there on the back porch. Maybe my favorite picture of the day, 420 millimeters, wide open at f6, 1/320th of a second, and ISO 900. Here's a tufted titmouse photograph at 420 millimeters, f6, 1/320th of a second, and the ISO is 1250 on this one. Love it, love it, love it. And here is the reason why the tufted titmouse is landing on this perch, because just out of the frame is some birdseed. This is 420 millimeters, 1/320th, f6, and ISO 1100. You know, a lot of times I think my videos are better if there's not a lot of activity, because in between each bird I get a chance to make a clip saying, hey, I just saw a Carolina chickadee. But I've seen so many birds in the last 30 minutes or so that I haven't made any clips. So here's a clip, and there's going to be a lot of birds I've seen. I don't even remember. I've seen Carolina chickadees, Carolina wren, The downy woodpecker came back, tufted titmouse, just lots and lots. And I'm so happy that things are going well this morning in the blind, because the last time I came out here in the blind, you may remember I was using the Z8 and the old 70 to 200 with a teleconverter, and I just had a really bad day. Oh, hello, chickadee. I just had a really bad day. Just got another chickadee. And today things are going quite well. Here's a downy woodpecker, 400 millimeters on one of my other perches. This perch is hollowed out at the top. I call it my stump perch. And there's birdseed up there. This is 1/320th f6 and ISO 450 at 400 millimeters. This is a female house finch. This is 470 millimeters f6 1/320th and ISO 1100. This is another female house finch on another one of my perches there on the back porch, 470 millimeters 1/320th f6 and 800 ISO. I love this shot of the male house finch. Really beautiful. This is 450 millimeters f6 1/320th and ISO 400. And it's another example of the sun rising in the bird's eye. So the sun is at my back and the sun is on the birds, but it's kind of foggy, so the sun is muted, so it gave me a really nice light. Now this is not one of my perches. This is the Leland cypress that's about 15 feet or more behind my perches. So this is 600 millimeters, the only northern cardinal shot of the day. 600 millimeters wide open at 6.3, 1/500th, and ISO 640. This is another male house finch, very similar to the picture before the cardinal. This is 450 millimeters f6, 1/500th, and 800 ISO. And there is a Carolina chickadee. They came and went a lot this morning, and it took me a long time to finally get a decent shot. And here it is, 490 millimeters, right on top of one of my perches. This is wide open at 6.3, 1/800th, and ISO 1000. And this is the very next shot in the burst. This is 490 millimeters f6.3, 1/800th, and ISO 1000. I couldn't decide if I like this pose or this pose the best, so I went ahead and shared them both with you. Now this is the Carolina wren, which I really love these. May be the most photographed bird of all for me, but I only got one shot of it today. This is 1/800th, 490 millimeters f6.3, and ISO 560. Love the beautiful colors of the Carolina wren. Here's another Carolina chickadee shot. I love all the colors in these. A lot of times if you just glance at them, you think they're just white and gray and black. But there's also some beautiful tan and brown here. Mostly tan, I guess. A lot of nice colors in a bird that almost looks black and white. 1/800th of a second, 500 millimeters, f6.3, and ISO 720 for this one. And here is the Carolina chickadee on the stump perch. And it is just beautiful at 500 millimeters, 1/800th of a second, f6.3, and 400 ISO. I think I must have jinxed it. As soon as I made that clip talking about how great everything's going, the activity basically ceased and the light got extremely harsh. So I'm going to call it a morning. It's been fun out here with the Z8 and the 180 to 600. And I think the shots are going to be fairly good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, reach down, hit the thumbs up button. That helps me out a lot. And if you want to see some more stuff like this, subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.